Hey everyone, in today's Instagram video, I wanted to show you how to create motivational quote posts on Instagram. Now, these could be about different things. They could be about life, about success, about wealth, about fitness, about entrepreneurship. There's a lot of different ways where you could grow a specific page on Instagram this way by creating these posts that are motivational. So I wanted to show you how to create these from scratch, and then I'll share a couple of techniques with you on how you could grow an Instagram page this way. So I create these on a computer. So let's jump into a computer. I could show you how to create them and then we'll go from there. So the best tool I found for creating these and do it repeatedly with ease is Photoshop. So I have a link in the description to a free trial of Photoshop. So if you don't have Photoshop, don't worry. Just install it for free. You could even make 100 of these during the free trial. That will last you a whole year worth of posts. I found Photoshop the best investment I ever make. It's about 20 bucks a month that I pay for it. So if you find it useful, go ahead and get it. I think it's a really good life skill to have, the ability to use Photoshop. I have a bunch of videos on this channel, hundreds on Instagram, dozens on Photoshop. So subscribe here and you could check all of them out and master this tool. But here's what I've done. I've created a bunch of these. Like here's a comedy one. Here is one, just a regular life lesson one. This one's about life, this one's about fitness, and I've made hundreds of these. So if this seems too daunting for you, I do have these packaged up, so I sell these for $1 a piece. So if you want, just leave a comment for me. If you want to just buy these in a bundle, I could do that for different niches like wealth, fitness, and life, success, and entrepreneurship. I have those bundled up for you. But this is going to be an absolute free. Just download the free Photoshop trial. Then I'll show you how to make one completely from scratch, where to source the quote, where to source the image, how to make it this size and shape, and how to post it on Instagram and actually get some benefit from it on Instagram and grow your following there. So let's start from scratch. I'm just going to totally close out of Photoshop here. And once you download Photoshop, go ahead and launch it for the first time. So I'm just going to launch Photoshop here for the first time. And once you launch it, it's probably going to look different if you've never used it before, but go ahead and create new. As you can see, I use Photoshop for everything. Every single one of my thumbnail is created there, and I have videos on those too. I'm going to press create new here. And for a new document, what you want to do is, this custom one is fine. You want to just make it 1080 by 1080. This pixel is the square shape, what Instagram posts are like. So I'm going to do 1080 by 1080. I could title this motivational quotes, let's say. 300 resolution is fine. These numbers are all fine. So follow these numbers here and I'm going to press create. Now it's going to make a blank square shaped document for me. Next thing I need to do is I need to put a background image. So again, it depends on what your niche that you're going after. Is it fitness? Is it wealth? Make sure you know that before you start this process. It won't make sense to just randomly do this. So mine is about self-improvement. And in this case, I'm going to show you one for fitness. These are big Instagram niches that you could actually master with some hard work. So let me go to a website here. There is this website called Pexels. I'm going to, again, leave a link to this website in the description. You want to come here and search for anything. So in this case, I search for fitness. You could search for wealth, for example, if that's what you're going to talk about, for success and things like that. There's a bunch of images. The reason why I use this website is because all these options are free, royalty free. You won't get in trouble. Nobody owns these. I mean, they do own them, but they made it available royalty free, meaning you could use them without any kind of copyright issue. And then the other one I use for after I grow a bed. This is just to get me started. It is limited. Is Shutterstock. Shutterstock has a bunch of different options. So if I search fitness here, it's going to give you a whole bunch more options. There's thousands, but these do cost money, usually a few bucks per image. So I'll leave a link in the description for this, but I recommend you just get started with the free one. We're going to just try to do all this for free without spending any money, because if you're starting from scratch, we don't want to invest anything till we get a little bit of steam here. So again, let me go ahead and do fitness here. And let's say we want to use one of these fitness. We could just scroll down and check out a bunch of these different fitness ones. This is the one I had just now. But let's say we want to use this one. I'm going to click it. And then here, this drop down, you could download it. You could do the original, which is a huge file. We don't really need it. We need this one. It's still bigger than 1080 by 1080. I'm going to go ahead and download it. And it's going to go to your download folder. So I'm going to go to my download folder. And here on my download folder, this is the image. So on a Mac, I'm gonna control click. On a PC, you just right click and open with Photoshop. That's what we wanna do. That's the first thing after we made our canvas. So look on top here. You have your blank canvas and then you have the second thing here. That's the image. So I just wanna grab this image from here. These are your layers. Again, I have a 10-part video on this channel. So if you care about Photoshop, you should probably check that out, but I'm gonna walk you step by step. Take this background image, grab it and bring it to this other one, hold it on top, and then you could bring it here and drop it. By doing that, it places it right on top of that blank layer. Now, on a Mac, Command T, on a PC, Control T, gives you these options to resize. If you have an older Photoshop, you have to hold Shift so the aspect ratio doesn't change. On the brand new Photoshop, so if you got the trial, you should get this option. You just resize like this. So in this case, he actually did a good job fitting in here. I'm gonna go ahead and just move it right here. This is where I wanted to end up, this one right here. When I'm done, there's a check mark right on top. Go ahead and press that. So now you see you have two different layers. The background one that's not relevant anymore. You could even delete it if you want, and you could have your image right here. So the next step is putting a text quote on top. Now, where do you find text quotes? You could use your own quotes, obviously, but an easy way is on this website. Again, link in the description. Brainy Quote. You could just go ahead and search for anything. So life quote, for example, is what I'm searching for, but you could go ahead and search by author or different topics. Look at motivation, love, a lot of these positive and inspiring quotes. A lot of these quotes about life actually fit in fitness, for example. So you could just pick and choose what you want. You could attribute it to the person that said the quote as well, which I do most of the time here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna select this quote. So this is the quote, only I can change my life, no one else can do it for me. That's the quote I want. So I'm gonna take half of it because I want to have more control in Photoshop. I'm gonna take half of it. Let's go back to Photoshop. And I'm gonna just press T and I'm gonna put it here. I'm just gonna press delete if standard text pops up, and I'm gonna press Command V or Control V on a PC, and it's gonna go ahead and put that text there. Again, here, I'm gonna press Command A, Control A on a PC, select all. You could do all these through the menu too, so you could come under select all, for example. That's where I got Command A. Now everything is selected. Now come on the side here under properties. If you don't see this section here where you could alter the text, go to Windows, and make sure properties, this one, is selected check mark so it shows up right over here. And I'm gonna just resize this so I could actually see what I wrote here. So on the bottom, I could delete the link to the quote, and then I have the quote. If I select this quote again, this time I just didn't do Command A, I just went over it like this with my cursor. I could make it bigger, and then I'll press check mark. V, the V tool, this one, lets you move things. So I'm gonna bring it over here. Only I can change my life. So again, double click on the text here to make it selectable. I'm gonna turn this into a period. So now I could alter the font. This is the font I have here, but you could use any font really, just based on your taste. So you could see what Photoshop has to offer, or you could go to this website and then you could see a bunch of different fonts. You could download these and add them to Photoshop here as well. I'm not gonna show you how to add fonts in this video. I have other videos on that, but this is your text now. Now we need the second part of that text. So I'm gonna go back here. Let me go back to that quote. I'm gonna take no one can do it for me. I'm gonna copy this again. You could right click and copy like this. And I'm gonna make another text layer. So I'm gonna deselect this one by clicking anywhere. Press T here, select again. I'm gonna delete this and paste the one that I had here. As usual, I'm gonna wanna erase the stuff on the bottom here, the link to there. I'm gonna go ahead and delete all that, and I'm gonna press check mark. Now, if I press V again, this move tool, I'm gonna move it over here. So that's the two different lines. Now I want to be able to edit each one. The reason why I put it in separate lines so I have separate control. So let's do the top one first. Only I can change my life. I'm gonna press enter here, make it 2, select all, and I'll make it bigger. So the T right here, I could just increase the size, you see that? Only I can, and then maybe I could make this bold. So I select this part only, and then go over here to light, make it bold. I know I'm going kind of fast through this, but these are based on your preferences. There's a bunch you could do here, so I recommend you play around. I'm just showing you what's possible. Press check mark when you're done. Second quote, this is the second one. I'm gonna double click, it selects it, no one can. I'm gonna enter, do it for me. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to make that bold this time. There we go. And then I could select both of these and increase the font size if I wanted to, and press check mark. Now I could select the other one, move it up, whatever I want to do here, I can. Let's just say this is all I wanted to do, just so we can move on with this. What I want to do now is make the text more readable, and the background needs to get darker. So I'm going to select the background layer here, layer 2. I'll just label it background so you can see what I'm talking about here. I'm going to select it. I'm going to double click somewhere over here, right next to the text. Not the text, because that makes the text editable. Right next to it, double click, this window pops up. And here you want to do a color overlay. Choose that, and then select it, and then select the actual layer. Now you could change the color. I'm choosing black, so I have a black tint over here. And then you could change the opacity. If it's at 100, you can't see the background. If it's at 0, it does nothing. Somewhere in between 0 and 100 right there. And now the text really pops. I'm going to press OK. The same thing is true with the text too. If you wanted to alter the text, you could double click it and do things like inner glow, for example, or bevel, or drop shadow, things like that. Outer glow. I'm not going to do anything with them. I like this clean look here. Now I'll show you an advanced thing. You don't have to do this part, obviously, but I have my logo here, and it's a PNG. You could get a logo made in Upworks or Fiverr or websites like that, or if you already have one. It just has to be a PNG, meaning it's a transparent background. I'm going to go ahead, just like the image, select it and bring it over here and put it right over here. Again, it's too big, so I'm going to press Command-T and then resize it. And let's say I just want it to be very small, but if I wanted Howfinity.com to be where I send people, or the way I brand it, this is the how-to website this video is made for. So this is a way to get people to go there. You just put your link there. And it makes it impossible for anyone just to take this and repost it because you put your logo there. The ones I have in a bundle, I don't have my logo. It's just basically looks like this, so anybody could use it for any purpose. So if this seems really daunting to you, I could just give you the bundle. So I'm going to put the logo. Now let me show you how to save it. Again, if I wanted to move it, I could go ahead and move it somewhere in the center of the image. And now let's say we're done with this and we want to post it. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Save. First thing, I want to save it as a PSD. So motivational quotes, only I can. So I'm going to go ahead and call it that, only I can. I'm going to save it just so I have the editable file. Then to post it, I'm going to go to File, Save As again. And this time on the bottom under Format, I'm going to do JPEG. If I do JPEG, that's the version I'm going to post on Instagram. Again, I'm going to save it. See, this is a JPEG. The other one was a PSD, a Photoshop file. Save that. I'm going to press OK. So here on my Finder here, this is the image I just saved right on top here. This is the JPEG that I just saved. So it's on my computer. Now I just got to get this to my phone. So if you want to make it easy for yourself, I'm on a Mac and an iPhone, so I use AirDrop to do it. It's super simple. Another way is just you could just email this to yourself. I also sometimes use Dropbox to get this to myself. But in this case, I'm just going to use AirDrop, but get this from your computer to your phone. So if you don't have AirDrop, you don't have a Mac, just go ahead and email it to yourself, or email a bunch of them to yourself after you're done making it. So let me just go ahead and open AirDrop here in a different window. And here's my phone. So I'm going to grab it from here and I'm going to drop it to my phone. And then let's jump into the phone here. As usual, you could apply filters to it, but I liked how it looked. You could do whatever you want here. Press next, and then go ahead and write a caption. Now your caption should be a little bit different than the quote here. So I'm just gonna say everything is up to you. Obviously put some thought into this, and I'm gonna go ahead and tag my channel here so people could easily click it when they see it, or if someone decides to repost it, it shows up this way. I'm gonna press OK. You could tag people. I sometimes tag bigger channels on the same niche. So you could tag other people if you want. You could add a location, just the normal stuff. I'm going to share it, but we're not done quite yet. Let me go ahead and share it here. So now that it's been shared, I want to make sure I put hashtags there. Now I have a bunch of videos on how to find hashtags and how to do hashtags, but let me show you what I've done here. I have a note on my phone with a bunch of different hashtags. So I have all the hashtags. So for the Howfinity Boost channel about motivation, entrepreneurship, and so on, I have couple options dedicated to it. So I come to my notes usually and I just go ahead and copy this. And I have many different options depending on what I'm posting about. And then I go over here, I'll go to my description here on my comments, and then I'll go ahead and paste that. Post. So just like that, in a clean way, I've added bunch of hashtags and made this discoverable. This is the way you grow on Instagram. It's that simple. Post it here, do the hashtags, tag yourself, tag other people, and you will ultimately grab attention and grow. Now, this is not overnight. This is going to take some time. So give it some time. You will slowly grow. In fact, the first 1,000 followers are going to be hard to come by, a lot harder than growing from 1,000 to 10,000 and 10,000 to 20,000. It gets a lot easier, actually. I know I throw a lot your way in this video, more than I usually do in all my other videos, but I wanted to kind of make this complete and have you take away very actionable plan in succeeding on Instagram. Again, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for daily social media and tech videos, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.